is right. Hello and welcome to episode 13 of With All Due Respect, a sports show by JDS that will soon be the greatest in the country. Once again, Sporting Week. Daniel back in the losers pool. Melbourne back in the winners circle. The Lakers through to the conference finals, starting after a 10-2 start to the year. Sport is amazing. Sport is unreal. As always, brought to you by the Village Sport, Balmain, home of the Oracle. If you ever want to meet the Oracle, head down to the Village Sport, Balmain. He is
ask for the Oracle.
Ask for the Oracle. I mean, that's what it says in the paper, 15-1. Anyways, Daniel, would you like to kick us off with the headlines this week? Kick us off. What's coming at the Ghoul today?
My first headline is going to be surrounding the NBA, and it's that the 2020 bubble is back.
It's back.
And I'm a big fan. The NBA's conference finals are both 2020 bubble rematches. And I do like that this is happening, as a lot of people discount how tough the bubble was. They don't really count it as a proper NBA season. But when you think about it, it's probably was harder than a regular NBA season.
The most difficult, correct.
So I just want to talk about these two matchups. Going into both these series, I am seeing a Lakers-Celtics finals, in which will be a battle to see who has the most banners.
That is historic.
I would I did see a post this morning that it does kind of look like if that happens, there's going to raise a suspicion that the NBA is scripted, as it's a battle for the most banners. Apparently, LeBron has been followed by the Last Dance producers all year. So if this is the year they're filming, they're going to want a good one. I don't think it's scripted personally. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I said that I thought Phoenix were going to beat Denver. And look, the Nuggets surprised me. You can't really discount me too much. I can't predict injuries. I can't predict who's going to be out. Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton.
But that's not about that.
Missed half the series. So DeAndre Ayton missed the closer.
Didn't you predict they'll be bounced in the first round?
That was against when they were playing Lakers or Golden State. So I did get a little bit surprised there, but then again about the injuries. But I just don't see who's going to guard LeBron James.
That's what I've got written down. I think that Jokic AD is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, that's what I've got as well. They'll challenge each other, but I just don't see who guard LeBron because... And in terms of scoring as well, I know the Nuggets have Murray, who can be an elite scorer instead of Jokic, but I think the Lakers just have more guys that can give you, 15 or 20
Yep.
on any given night, like Lonnie and Austin Reeves, even Russell.
Denver have big bodies to guard LeBron, but defensively they're just not... They have no prowess.
I don't know who's...
They've got Aaron Gordon. I don't
think he'll do a good job.
They've got Michael Porter. They're big bodies. They're lengthy.
If the Lakers,
good wingspan, but they're just not good defensively.
If the Lakers are going to win this series, LeBron's going to have to take over. I've got the Lakers in 6 for that. And on the other side, I think the Celtics will be too much. And I haven't written that they'll be too much for Miami. I said there'll be too much for Jimmy Butler plus Miami.
Yeah, because
Jimmy Butler is the team.
That's it. You stop Jimmy, you win.
That's really what I've got written down. Guard Jimmy, you win. I'll take Boston in 6 again. I just think Boston, again, too much, like the same with the Lakers, too much firepower for Miami. Gabe Vincent's not guarding Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
All right.
That wraps the first one.
Well, I've got my next headline. It's NRL based, and it's the Chooks are sliding. They are headless Chooks. Now I know Braith used that last night on 360, so I'm taking that from Braith. All credit to you, but I'm labeling this current Sydney Roosters Football Club as the headless Chooks. Daniel, I'm going to name you 5 elements, and I want you to tell me where if a team had this prowess, where should they be placed? 12 internationals, a golden boot winner, 6 premiership winners, the most money spent on a roster we may have ever seen, and a Dalian medalist. Where should this team be placed, Daniel?
Number one.
First
place.
And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, that is the Sydney Roosters. They are 9th or out of the 8. I'm not sure of their exact position, but they are out of the 8.
I think they're 9th.
12 rounds in. Yes, I believe Fletch on Matty Johns was saying that they are 4 points off third position. That's how close the competition is right now. But realistically, the Roosters should have those 4 points considering who they've versed. The players are there. The roster is stacked. Now, the blame has to be put towards the coach.
Yes, we did talk about this.
It has to be put towards the coach. Yes, he is a 3-time premiership winner, but the pressure is on. Daniel, give me your opinion. If Craig Bellamy was the coach right now, if Wayne Bennett was the coach right now, I wouldn't even dare to say if Jason Demetriou was the coach right now. Would they be better off?
I don't know about
would they do a better job than Trent Robinson is right now?
I think the first two definitely would.
Yep.
But I think
so. I don't know why I put Demetriou in there. My apologies.
It's a lot. It's like I don't know what he's doing because you've got that much talent, and I know every year, especially last year, I got caught up in this that I think the Roosters were coming 8th by round 14 or something, and then they go on and win. They won 8 of their last 9 or something like that. And I do think that they do that every year. They do kind of start slow and go on a run.
Warm up towards the end.
They are starting very, very slow. To lose by 48 to Penrith, that is the side that the West Tigers actually beat.
That's
true. Lose by 48 points.
That's true.
And then I'm hearing from Roosters fans that the other reason the Tigers won is because it was rainy. Well,
if you're blaming weather on a victory, you have to have a good look at yourself.
Exactly. I'm a bit concerned, but I do think people say, are they going to make finals? I think they'll be in the 8. Question there.
They have to. But we called it at the start, the Brendan Smith experiment is not working.
No, that's not working at all.
If you recall to a video we made about the Christmas gifts for rugby league clubs most wanted Christmas gifts over the Christmas period.
I do recall, yes.
I said Brandon Smith has to lose 10 kilos. And he obviously hasn't because he's not fit, he's not fast enough. And I'll tell you what, the Melbourne Storm won that battle choosing Harry Grant over Brandon Smith. Daniel, what have you got next coming out the rabbit hole?
Next, my next headline is, let's talk about Cronulla.
Up.
Now, currently sat in 4th position with 6 wins and 4 losses. But watching them against Manly, I found myself asking questions, with the main one being, what do they need to do to take the next step? Because personally, I still think they're a tier behind the best of the best. And I think that the problem is they don't know how to effectively control and finish games is what exactly right. Close out. Biggest example coming against the New Zealand Warriors where they lost by 2 points after that massive comeback. But even against Manly, they were winning 20-0 or something.
20-2.
They win by
20-14.
6. It's like they're constantly finishing games on the back foot, and it's like they're being saved by the bell. I don't know how they can fix it. It's just, I don't know if it's discipline or what, because Hines has them locked. You know what I mean? It's not like they're making silly mistakes and stuff, but it's like they just play for 60 minutes. Like the last 20 minutes of their games, they are under the pump. And I don't know what's going on, but if you want to win a premiership, you can't be letting that happen. You can't think, we'll play well for 60 and just hope they don't catch us.
Well, those last 15, 20 minutes, they're championship minutes.
Exactly.
They're championship rounds. Look, I like you said, I don't know, Cronulla will be up there, but I can't, if they continue like this, I can't see them going up and beating the big dogs, i.e. your South Sydneys, even your Penrith Panthers.
The real threats for the premiership. They won't. And if you're playing in a grand final, you have to play for the 80 minutes. Like you can't.
You won't even have to play for 90, Daniel. That's
what I was just about to say. You can't. It's like they get to a point and they think, okay, we'll just hope they don't catch us from here.
Yep.
And that can't be happening. That was just a little takeaway I had. What's your next headline?
I'm going with it's Dragons D-Day, Daniel. The Dragons got pumped. They got pumped.
Absolutely thrashed.
For Ben Hunt's 300s now, interesting enough, I was watching 360 last night, NRL 360 that is, and Buzz was saying the Tuesday before the game, so last Tuesday, Ben Hunt's 300th game, obviously, they were having a function for Ben Hunt's 300th game, a nice dinner, you might say.
Yes, I've heard about this.
With the players, with the coaching staff. And let me tell you this, not one board member / management personnel showed up to the function.
That's ridiculous. It's like they don't want him.
Not one flew up, but the thing is they flew up for the game, which I can't really comprehend. Now, Hook has to go effective immediately. We are getting good mail that it will be Hornby as the head coach.
Ben Hornby.
But the recent re-signing of Craig Bellamy we obviously know Jason Rolls was in the conversation. the recent re-signing of Bellamy, whilst knowing that he may not be at he will not be at Melbourne next year, has sort of put a spanner in the works, and he's now rethinking. Hold on, maybe I'll go to the Dragons now or next year because the Melbourne job is now unavailable. So it's between Hornby and Riles. Slater's out of the equation. Like I said last week, I thought that was
we've even heard that Michael Checker, the Cedars coach,
the ex-Cedars coach, correct.
But yeah, I think we've obviously heard that Hornby may have already put pen to paper.
But like I said, Riles thing,
Jason Riles
will be close.
Will be shifting it. But I think Hornby's their guy because Riles is still contracted next year. I think he'll just stay there and just wait and see where the Storm job lands.
It's going to cost them a lot. I think, being a Melbourne Storm fan, I would love for Billy Slater to be the coach. But I think if you're Riles, if you have the opportunity to coach the Storm in 2025 or coach the Dragons from now on,
you're waiting.
I'm waiting.
Because he's already got a job at the Chooks as well.
Exactly.
It's not like he's going to be unemployed for a year.
What have you got next?
My next headline is it's State of Origin season. What a lovely season it is.
Horny.
State of Origin is around the corner, and obviously one of the biggest questions is who will make up the Blues backline? So there's questions at number 6, and there's questions in the wing and centre positions.
Back 5, correct.
So personally, I'm picking Campbell Graham.
He got to be in the squad.
And Nico Hines has to be the 6.
Has to be the 6.
Luai played well against the Roosters.
It's one game.
But I cannot stand it. He played one game. Did you see how he reacted?
That's the thing.
Calm down.
If Luai's in the team over Nico Hines, I honestly, I'm not saying this without any meaning. I honestly don't think I could support the Blues. I don't think I'll be able to support them.
I do think that they will pick Luai for game 1. Just because
you can't though. You can't.
Just because of the longevity aspect. But Nico Hines has to play game 1.
So if they lose,
he can't be 18th man or just in the squad. He has to be on the bench at least.
So if Luai gets picked for game 1 and they lose, are you starting Nico in the half for game 2?
Easily.
That's a panic move.
Yeah, but I think
that's stupid.
I don't think they should do it, but I just think that's what will happen.
You can't do that.
And I think there's a lot of talk of who's going to be on the wing and in the centres.
We saw Hoops. You want to elaborate what Hoops had?
James Hooper has Stephen Crichton on the wing with Campbell Graham in the centres next to him. So Latrell and Graham were the centres and Toto and Crichton were the wingers. I don't think Crichton should gets picked at all.
Well, that's the thing. If you don't pick Turbo, if you don't pick Addo-Carr, who's left?
I don't even think that's a good point. But I don't even think Graham will be as effective on the wing either. I don't really like that selection of Graham on the wing. I think he's just too much of a big body to play on the wing.
He won a World Cup with Australia on the wing, so that's
still.
We know he can play
it's
there.
A different array. I just don't.
And Stephen Crichton on the wing. Stephen Crichton on the wing has won a premiership as well.
Yeah, I would rather
Crichton on the wing.
Crichton on the wing and have Graham in the centres than have Graham on the wing and Turbo in the centres.
Purely
because I would put Graham in his
preferred
best
position,
the position that he's been dominating in this season.
Well, like I said, I'd like to reiterate that Stephen Crichton has won a premiership on the wing with the Penrith Panthers against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and he got that intercept.
Wow, okay.
Do you remember that intercept?
Yeah, I do recall it.
Yeah.
Very personal again. Anyway, are we about to move on to everyone's favourite segment, Latrell Watch?
Latrell Watch, Daniel, for this week. Now, close your ears, Daniel, because this is... Close your ears? Is that a thing?
I'll do it.
Round 11 versus your beloved Tigers, Daniel. Now, he led the team to 20 points to nil victory. That's right. Nil. Tigers failed to score a point. Now, the scoreline doesn't really reflect the game.
I didn't think so at all.
I thought it was very tightly contested for about 70 minutes.
I thought we were up for it. Definitely.
70 minutes, but Trell finished with one try, a try assist. 11 runs only, running for 89 metres. 6 tackle breaks, which obviously would be quite easy against a fouling Tigers squad. 1 line break and a line break of 6. A solid performance. A solid performance. Now, as you would have seen, he was mic'd up by a Fox League. Now, the decision to mic Latrell Mitchell up against the worst team in the NRL, I would like to know who made that decision, because he's obviously going to win. They're obviously putting the limelight on him when he's playing well against the shittest team in the NRL. Mic him up against a Penrith Panthers. Mic him up against a Melbourne Storm. I'd love to see that footage. Anyway, great performance nonetheless from Latrell. Right in time for Origin. Great performance. I'm going to give him a total score of 5 out of 10 on the Latrell meter.
You say great performance and you give him 50%.
It's pass.
I thought South didn't play very well.
Exactly.
It was as you said, the scoreline didn't really reflect the performance.
And when South don't play well, you know why?
It's because Latrell isn't playing well.
Exactly. Well, not playing. He's played well, yeah, but not injecting as much.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
just my opinion.
It's just, if it's 6-0 for the majority of the game, say we score to make it 6-all, they kick a penalty goal 8-6. It's a completely different story.
Completely different story.
But look, is that the end of the segment?
That's the end of Latrell Watch.
Talking about the Tigers, I would love to leave it to that's not ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous.
I'd love
That's
to.
not ridiculous
And
to
as
say
of
that.
late, we've talked about the Cowboys quite a bit on the on this show about do they stink?
Which
And
they sort of do.
They've had two pretty good performances the last 2 weeks. They could be back.
They're a little bit
And
smelly.
It did frighten me a little bit that as soon as they had 2 good performances, we do have to play them.
The Tigers, that is.
Until I found out, I was worried about our chances until I found out that this week is Luke Brooks' 200th NRL game.
Are you serious?
And that leads me into the take that the West Tigers will beat the Cowboys this week. 1-12. Need I say more? Luke Brooks 200. And it's also at Leichhardt Oval, and it could be potentially the last Leichhardt Oval game of all time, unless there's some renovations by the New South Wales government.
Brooksy's 200th.
If we could go into the bye, 3 out of our last 4.
You have another bye. You have another bye already.
No, it's like there's only 4 games. It's because it's State of Origin.
Yeah.
Right? If we can go into the bye 3 of our last 4, I'll be in dreamland because it gives us time to see where we are, see where we're at. We won't be at the bottom of the table if we go 3 for our last 4.
No.
We'll be going into the bye high on morale, ready to work, ready to see where we're at, and ready to see where we want to be.
So you got the Tigers 1-12 this week.
I do. Brooks is 200th at Leichhardt. Even a little bit of a extra note I've got in here is that Alex Toll scored his first career try. It's been written in the stars since round 1. Last game at Leichhardt. Possibly the dagger. I'm seeing if Alex Toll scores a try, it's not going to be first try score. It's going to be the winner, the dagger.
The winner or the dagger?
Maybe to put us up 10.
Wow.
Instead of 4.
So out of reach for the Cowboys.
Yes. But I do. It's just
Daniel. The Cowboys are red hot.
They are, but Brooks is 200th. He's been scrutinised by the media. The teammates, the boys hate it. What do they want to do for Brooks' 200th game? They want to give him a win. I think Brooks is going to aim up just like he did against Penrith. His form as of late, look, he's not going to play like he did against Penrith every week. But he has been playing shit. South, there was some questionable plays. But look, they'll go into this week with Sheensy and look at those.
Sheensy, I don't know.
And they'll look at those. Even Benji. Benji's probably working hand to hand with Brooks. They'll look at those plays, learn how to correct them. 200 games, it's a big one. I can see the Tigers running out on Leichhardt, running through the banner. There's going to be a banner.
Wasn't there question marks over the fan base going on a strike?
No, there'll be no strike. That's ridiculous. They'll be running through a banner to a sold-out Leichhardt Oval Saturday afternoon, and it is going to be Tigers 1-12, Alex Twal, the dagger. What's yours?
I've got that the Lakers will defeat the Denver Nuggets in 5 games.
5 games, wow.
It's a gentleman's sweep per se. 4 games to 1. Like we mentioned before, I do not know who is going to guard LeBron. Well, we may know who is going to guard LeBron, but efficiently and effectively guard LeBron, I can't see anyone doing it. The Anthony Davis matchup with Jokic is going to be special. AD won the season series 2 games to 1, and I believe the game he lost was in LA. So we have the upper advantage going in this series. I'm not too sure, but the stats do not lie. Our biggest threat will be Jamal Murray.
Yes, but
if we stop Jamal and we let Jokic get his 30 points, 10 rebounds, limit his assists, I think AD's defensive form will excel. I would dare to say that AD's defensive form right now outweighs Jokic's offensive form.
I think they'll just both challenge each other. They'll both be, some games they'll be held to low scoring, but then some games they'll, go for 30. I just think that is the key for LA. They just need to contain Jamal because KCP is this or Aaron Gordon, guys like that aren't as valuable to Denver as in terms of scoring as players like Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell,
I know,
and Lonnie Walker for the Lakers.
You want KCP and Aaron Gordon to try beat you.
Exactly.
Am I right? But KCP dropped 30 points last game.
Yeah, but there was a blowout. What I'm saying is that you have less of a chance of those guys beating you because Denver are going to want, Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker, D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder. They're going to say, we have to make them beat us. But they're more chance of beating the Denver Nuggets than the Denver Nuggets role players are of beating the Lakers.
Yep, I think our roster is definitely perhaps maybe even better, perhaps deeper, considering what we've seen Lonnie Walker do in game 4, game 5.
4. I think the Lakers will really try to take game 1 in Denver as they have done in every other series.
Yeah.
Because that's just the momentum shifter. Because when they win that first game, they don't care about game 2.
The thing is, though, we haven't seen the Denver Nuggets under any pressure in this series, and that's why I've got the Lakers in 5. Like, I think if we win the first one, lose the second one, if we go back to Denver 3-1 up, I think we could finish it in Denver. Because the Nuggets under pressure tend to crack. Anyway, that's what I've got for That's Not Ridiculous.
So now we're going to head to the JDS3 where this week Joel is going to take us through his top 3 Origin debutants that need to debut this year.
That is right. As Daniel said, I will be going through the top 3 players that have to debut for Origin this year if either of their states are a chance of potentially winning the series. Now, before I start, we must remember that the list is fluid. The list has fluidity. The list can change. These names could change in order at any time, any place, anywhere. The list is fluid. Number 3, Corey Horsburgh. Now, the whole time I thought this guy was from England for some reason. I never knew he was a Queenslander, but of course he is a Queenslander. Averaging over 120 metres and 30 tackles a match. This is a man New South Wales just won't want to see running at them come Origin time. He is number 3. Number 2, the most informed centre in the competition at the moment, Campbell Graham, Marston Oldboy. Now, defensively, he has been known as the greatest in the comp, but offensively now, oh my God, he's scoring tries for fun. Question marks over Turbo the Fox open up this conversation for Campbell Graham to make the side. I mean, the bloke won a World Cup with Australia over the summer. Now, let's just keep that in mind, Freddie. When you're picking your team, he has to be in the squad, Freddie Fittler. Now, number 1, N. Hines. Why? Freddie. He is a Dally M medalist. He was the best player in the comp last year. And you're thinking of picking Jerome Luai, a man that has lost you several series over him? Freddie Fittler. Let's recall. Let's think. He has to be picked. He beats Luai in every aspect of skill, passing, speed, maybe not footwork, but game intelligence, and one of the most important things that I think we are forgetting, Hines' kicking game will help Cleary massively. Queensland will be putting that much pressure on Cleary, it will be almost impossible to get a great kick away. Hines on that other edge, my God, will relieve that pressure off Cleary. Freddie has to pick you for game 1. Don't pick Luai for game 1, Freddie. Lose the game and then force Hines in for game 2. That is just unhygienic. That is just unethical. That is just incompetent. Now, he has to be picked for game 1. Please, Freddie, that's my list for the top 3 players that have to debut for Origin this year. And remember, the list is fluid. The list is fluid.
Look, no surprises there. Definitely agree with the number 1 selection.
Yes, he has to be there, Freddie. Seriously.
Well, that wraps another episode of With All Due Respect. Another great, short, sharp, yet effective.
It's a weekly recap of the week that was. I mean, you can sit through a 2-hour, 3-hour podcast when we have a 20-minute, 25-minute compact.
It's all you need. It's all you need.
Entertainment bubble. Daniel, good luck this week with the Tigers, mate. Seriously.
Look, I'm excited.
Seriously.
Very excited.
Leichhardt Oval. I mean, we'll do that multi. Tigers won a 12 any time. It's going to win us a lot of money. This time next week, the conference final will be underway. Hopefully the Lakers are up. Be interesting to see what happens. Anyway.
Also interested to see, will my San Antonio Spurs get the #1 pick?
The lottery is tomorrow.
I'll give you a tip. I've seen a lot of stuff. I think it might be the Chicago Bulls getting it.
Where will Victor end up tomorrow afternoon? We will know. Forgot to mention Melbourne Storm versus the Dolphins this week. Suncorp Stadium. Dolphins, get ready for reality check. 50-0 Melbourne. That's it from us. Let's trot.